Hi everyone and welcome back to Sonic Academy's Ultimate Drums walkthroughs with me, Chris Agnelli, and beside me is
Phil Johnston.
Phil Johnston. We've looked at progressive, we've looked at trance, and we've looked at main room house, and finally we have dubstep. So we're going to take you through our Ultimate Drums dubstep pack and show you the ins and outs of the loops and sort of the essential, probably the principles of programming dubstep.
And also drum and bass and some breaks as well. This sort of genre, we sort of split the genres up just in the sounds that were used. So these sounds work for Skrillex, Knife Knife Party, you know, the sort of more commercial drum and bass, darker dubstep.
Jason Status,
yeah. Netsky, some of the other influences. So all that general sort of range, and even if you're doing some of the more, I would say, Mariani style house with the lives or the sort of more drum and bass, bassy snares, then I think there's some stuff in that for everyone really. Okay, so I'll do a dubstep first, then maybe like a drum and bass, and then I'll sort of do a breaks thing at the end. So I've got a sort of basic backing track here, and then we'll just sort of build everything around that. And so we'll go through the packs. What have we got in these packs? We have a ton of kicks. So the kicks are sort of a good bit different than,
to my ear, they kind of take their cues from acoustic 80s kicks, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, there's definitely quite a lot of that.
You know, they're not...
The clicks on them are different. As you say, they're more live, maybe a bit more reverby in a lot of cases.
Yeah, it sounds like an acoustic skin.
And the thumps in them, strangely enough, a lot of the... We were actually struggling for a while to get some of the kicks. And a lot of the ones that we ended up getting right were using like layered kicks, but with some of them pitched up a full octave. So and I think it's to do with the thud at the start of how the kicks are generated or whatever. But I'll go through some of them and let you know.
They're probably the complete opposite of main room house. They're not round. They're not woolly. They're not subby.
Some of them, yeah, some of them are, I would say some of them are similar. I think this kick here in particular, I think 0-0, not a million miles away from him.
No, it's not. No. So I'll there's a taxi for me, and I'll be back at the end of the tutorial.
So I'll just go through and give you a sort of. These are the they're the sort of.
They're quite. There's not much low end information there. There's low end, but it's
quite
very
sharp attack.
Sharp attack, very knocky.
And these all lend themselves to, you know, building up breakbeats and stuff. A few sub drops in there just for good measure. It's going to keep playing, is it? And so I'll just start building up a drum rack here, throwing some stuff in.
There's a very particular snare sound, isn't there?
Yeah, again, sort of dubstep deviates a wee bit from the drum and bass. Drum and bass, sort of Netsky stuff's a wee bit cleaner. The snares, dubstep's maybe more of those schwacky sort of slappy stuff.
You're all about the schwaggies today.
Schwacky. So, kind of different stuff.
I mean,
real sort of more aggressive ones. So I'll fire a couple in here and just. There's some. These were sort of done to sort of give you more attacks. There's about 7 or 8 of these ones that are quite short, but they have this sort of nice attacks.
So you could layer them up on top.
Layer them up on top of stuff, and then the ones at the bottom, these like last 4 are more cleaner, more
drum and bass,
pop orientated sort of ones. Yeah. But they also fit nicely over dubstep stuff. So I'll do a quick dubstep beat. Actually, I'll just get a...
So, for anybody wanting to program dubstep beats, it's kind of simple. You know, it's very straight.
Yeah, the fundamental beats are they generally stay around a sort of pretty similar pattern, which is the... And we'll need to extend these out to get a bit of weight on the go. So that's, I mean, you can go for that as a basic beat. Then you can start adding elements. I'll layer these snares up anyway. Probably a bit loud there. Just match them up a bit.
The meter police are on their way.
The meter police are on the way. I can hear the sirens in the background. And yeah, so you can have a basic beat like that, and then you can start adding different elements. Common, or you can sort of add another wee one in here. And again, one of the things you want to sort of be take a bit of attention to is that just the length of the notes. So you don't want all your notes completely fully open into the bass. You want to sort of shorten some, and sort of you really want to sort of save your real long kick subs for the sort of the main beats.
The main down beats.
Really, just to give you space in your mix for your other.
But also gives it you know, plays off the bass as well, doesn't it? You know, you're complementing the bass with the kicks.
So that's your sort of basic beat, and then we've just got a load of then add-on loops, really, that sort of...
I think one thing to point out with the dubstep, there's no bongos or anything, because it's not...
Yeah, I mean, there's one sort of run of toms.
Because it is all about kicks and snares.
Yeah,
you know,
and the run of toms is just simply for your fills going at the end of a bar or whatever. And then, so we've got all these. Well, there's hi-hats as well. We've got some nice crashes. And then a bunch of hats. But the main stuff's probably in the loops. So we sort of split everything up into, different stuff. We've got a bunch of breaks, which I'll sort of go into more in the drum and bass. I think they sort of suit that a bit better. Ride loops. Fire something like that in.
I have to say that sounds insanely good. It really does.
So we've got a few more of them. They sort of build up.
And again, you could customize that with your transient filters and stuff.
Yeah, if you wanted to go in and just sort of narrow that down, or I think that a lot of the drum or dubstep stuff seems quite loose. I mean, you could bring it down.
I think like a verse could be down like that tight, and then chorus.
Yeah, totally.
Open everything up. And again, you're playing with this. One of the beauties about dubstep is you can play with time, half time, full time. You know.
Yeah, and there's loads of space in between for rhythmical patterns and stuff like that. So you've got that.
You could send that snare to you. Why don't we have a look at sending the snare?
Do ping pong? I think it was ping pong there, do you? And you might want to then send your ping pong to, say, a reverb as well. You get sort of crazy. And it works with loops as well, so if you want to send loops out to delays. You're getting all that sort of real nice double time stuff.
Yeah, it gives it a real dub, as in not dubstep, but you know, sort of Jamaican dub, raga.
Yeah,
sort of
you get that
vibe.
real funky reggae vibe. Yeah, and then there's just a bunch more of those in different sort of different timings, different sounds. So you can just sort of have it really splashy if you want it sort of pretty heavy. And one of the other things you can do is just wing on a side chain to everything. So I will fire this on from the drum rack, from our kick. One thing, when I'm using the kicks that are in dubstep and I'm side chaining, what I'll normally do is put an EQ on the side chain and just high pass it.
Mm-hmm.
And what it does, it means then the side chain's only being triggered with the high passed frequency.
Mm-hmm.
Because the basses are so long, because you're using so much of that length,
it could sidechain for longer.
it side chains for way longer than you'd want it to.
So you
only take the top of the click, and then you can actually use the release to determine how long you want it. That just gives you more control. I think from the stuff I've been listening to, you tend to want it pretty short. You almost want it as if, like, you know, for that 1 minute, the limiter's been kicked in the club and it comes back quite quickly, if you know what I mean.
So it's very cutty, you know,
When you hear it there.
Yeah.
And we can put that on our rides and our different sort of hi-hats and stuff. And again, it gives you that just the feeling of it being just like really loud in a club sort of thing. And you maybe ease back on a few ones just to sort of keep a bit of variety and not everything sort of jumping off at the same point. So there's a basic dubstep beat, and we're just going to transfer this into a drum and bass beat. I'll do some different sounds for a change. Let's just grab all these.
And so tempo wise we're around the same.
Yeah, tempo wise stay the same, it's just double
speed.
Yeah.
Yep.
So go get some more kicks. Some cool ones down at the bottom here, I think. Like a nice kick. These for a bit of width. Again, layer your kicks up, you know. Get one to give you the sort of the bottom you like and the top you like, or just need to get a bit of velocity on these. Hope they're in there good. And we'll get some snares in there as well then. And there's a bunch of different snares. These ones down at the bottom are sort of more for drum and bass, sort of for more that commercial sound. And I'll maybe layer it with something heavier. It's pretty crazy. That's pretty heavy, so I'll layer these up. I'll have to obviously do a bit of mixing here. So we'll just get these down. I'll have to turn the velocities up as well. And again, I should mention with all the packs, there's kits with a lot of the stuff already done, so you can sort of, if you just want to get something going really quickly,
just fire it, open up the kit and away you go.
Open up the kit and you're sorted. And so the standard beat is so we'll get rid of some of these loops and we'll sort of build them up again. And so we've got a bunch of break loops, and these are all sort of classic sort of sounds that have sort of been re-engineered, as it were, and sort of built back up. And
these very much.
And these are sort of giving you your mids.
Yeah.
So we've got the hi-hats and all the rides for the tops and those sort of shuffles, and then you want something in your mid just to sort of be shuffling about and give you that sort of, you know, I don't know, sort of rhythmical play in the middle.
Yeah, but it's also, I mean, they're all based on sort of James Brown funky drummers, so that they're
Yeah.
very funky.
So you could maybe even high pass them a bit more just to sort of take off some of the bottom end if you're, you know, if you want to clean your bottom end up. You even sort of pan them as well. And then there's some other ones that we have that are just like, just almost like the hi-hat sort of shuffly bit. So if you just want that sort of section there, you can find that. And then on top of that, you add some tasty ride loops. And if you want it all a bit tighter, you can just go straight in. And
I think the beauty about this pack as well is you can go from extremely dirty to extremely clean. You know.
So if I just wanted to tidy everything up here, make a real sort of more commercial. Find a nicer sort of sweeter ride. So that's a more commercial sort of ride. And we'll just mix our hat or our snares a bit to give us a more commercial sound. Group all that together, add a wee bit of compression.
And what sort of compression would you add?
Well, there is actually a difference in this one.
Right, really?
In this one, I'll tend to leave the attack back because I think the attacks really need to come through.
Yeah,
on
that's
on
very
this.
important.
Yeah, if
in
you squish
dubstep.
the attacks, then you know you can lose a lot of. And then we want just maybe a wee tiny bit of sort of top end EQ. Again, if you're going for the more commercial thing, you'll maybe give it a bit of a sort of smiley face type of EQ. So there we go. Breaks. So we can use the sort of breaks loops we've got. I'm going to slow this down to like 140 or something like it, maybe a bit less. So all the loops are recorded so that they'll on the recs and stuff, so you can stretch them out pretty easily if you need to. I'll do like maybe a sort of more Skrillex-y sort of lower tempo breaks thing, or maybe something even a bit more breakbeaty.
What I loved there was we demonstrated the dirty end, and then you went completely pop within a few minutes, taking away slightly distorted snares, the distorted kick, and there's sweet rides. There's also distorted rides, and within 5 minutes
you're covering basically all the genres there. And we've got, as you say, we've got heavier rides, we've got the sort of lighter stuff, and bigger snare. There's just so many snares, it's unbelievable. We spent we kept getting to the sort of end of it and hearing a track and going, that snare's not in it, and having to go back and sort of keep adding more, like. So there's a lot there. We just basically went through all the popular drum bass dubstep tracks and tried to get as much of it as possible. And not sampled, it's all recreated from scratch. So
breaks then, what's
so again, you can use just these nice breaks, as the basis of a sort of, I'll maybe just take out this squealy. We can put our things back in. And then we'll fire some actual kicks and stuff in. We can use the snares that we have. I think that snare works quite well with break stuff.
That's nice, isn't it?
And when I'm sort of making breaks, I'm listening to the actual original loops to see where the sort of kicks are lying.
Yeah, you're sort of copying that.
So I can sort of see it there. And then I'll go in and sort of tidy up, build the different elements. Those are working well together.
Get that transient going on.
Yeah, that second half isn't working as well. So again, just into your envelopes, into your volume. And we can go into your transients as well, as you say. And we'll get this on. And those are sort of useful as well. Maybe just take a bit of the bass out of a couple of these. Heavy one. And again, the sort of rides and stuff will fit in with these. So there you go. It's similar sort of idea to the sort of drum and bass, but just maybe more sort of stuff. Because it's slower, you can sort of fit more beats and stuff in the middle.
Yeah, and the rhythmical elements become slightly more important in the slower.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think, guys, there's demonstrated in that pack 3 genres in one pack, and we've hopefully covered all bases in that. Hope you've got something out of that. Hope you find that enjoyable and interesting.
Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to give us a shout on the forums. We're happy to answer all your questions on either the subscriber forums or the main forum. And yeah, we should be releasing either by the time you've already heard this or in the very, very near future. And we will be obviously sending out a wee mailer with all the prices and sticking these vids up on YouTube. So thanks for watching. Goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from him.
Where do you go there? Bye. Sonic Academy is excited to bring you one of its most amazingly useful production tools to date. Ultimate Drums Dubstep is a massive collection of single drum sounds and loops, meticulously reverse engineered from the best sounding tracks of the genre. This sample pack truly excels in sound quality and variety, with sounds and loops to fit a wide range of genres from dubstep to drum and bass. Choose from hundreds of kicks, snares and percussion, all bundled with loops in AIFF, Rex and Apple Loops format. Also included are pre-made kits in Ableton's Drum Rack, Logic's Ultrabeat and EXS24. This truly is the ultimate in drums. So download today and become that next level producer at sonicacademy.com.